What if it was possible to have local, fresh groceries delivered right to your door? Think of all the free time you'd have. Well, Instacart gives unlimited grocery delivery for one low monthly fee. Forgot that special ingredient in your favorite dish? Instacart can deliver it to your front door in as fast as 1 hour. You can shop multiple stores, see deals in your area, and save time and money. I've been using Instacart for over 3 years. I started using them in Arizona, and I'm using them here in Florida. I love the time-saving convenience. They pick the freshest products, and they keep my eggs safe too. To receive your first delivery free, follow the link in the show notes so that Instacart knows that we sent you and to help support the show. Instacart. Never step foot in a grocery store again. Welcome to Empowered Within, a soul-quenching, transformational podcast that will set your soul on fire through candid and inspiring conversations. Leading experts, celebrities, healers, and I share our journeys of how we've overcome challenges to living an empowered life from within. I'm your host, Jennifer Pilates. Welcome to another episode of Empowered Within. Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm excited to announce our guest today. Frank Soonius is the author of the upcoming book, Trapped in a Dream, Never Lose Your Drive. His book, his story, will be the key that unlocks someone else's prison. Frank helps those who are dissatisfied with the life they are living to create a life they truly want to live through his 6-step unique program where they will discover their true passion and purpose to feeling more fulfilled and alive. Frank, welcome to the show. I'm so happy we get together today.
Thanks for having me, Jennifer. I'm really excited. So let's do this.
Let's do this. So Frank, you and I met on an app called Clubhouse. We were in a motivational mindset and manifestation room. And I just knew from your energies that there was more to you. You had a story to tell. And I'm excited to be able to tell your story through you with my audience here today. Are you ready, Frank?
I am ready.
All right, Frank, at one point in your life, you were a well-known sportsman, a successful trainer and coach, a research marketer, and a loving partner. Yet one day you wrote about how you woke up finding yourself in a prison cell in Sydney, Australia. Can you describe that day, how you got there, and the feelings that you were feeling in that moment?
I can still see it in front of me. It was really strange. So I was in the bed and I heard a door. There was a door and I heard a lot of keys. And somebody opened the door and he said, "Soonius, put on some clothes and come with me. There's a solicitor to see you." And I said, "A solicitor to see me? Why a solicitor? You better hurry up because you're looking at life in prison. So you better see the solicitor." I said, "Life imprisonment? What are you talking about?" He said, "Come with me and your solicitor will tell you everything." And then I asked, "Where are my clothes?" And he had a laugh. And he said, "They're there." And I looked and they were all green stuff and with a big number on the top. I said, "What is that?" "Frank, don't make me get angry. Put your clothes on and come on." I said, "That's not my clothes." And that's what happened. And then I walked with the guy. And then I noticed that I was in a prison cell. And I went to see that solicitor, and that solicitor told me what happened. And he asked me for $100,000 Australian dollars, to do my case. And if I didn't have the money, how much money I have to do the case. And then I said, "Oh, I will find out, and I'll let you know." And he gave me a business card. And the guard took me away again to my cell. But before I was with the cell, there was another solicitor there who also saw me in the newspaper somewhere, who also said to me, "Listen, I want to do your case." And that day, four solicitors come to see me. And I was, they call it dissociation. But don't ask me why. That's what I know. And that's what in my old report. I'm now only telling you because it's in my report. So I didn't know this.
Wow, that is so powerful. So Frank, in looking at life and looking at that moment, can you put any puzzle pieces together as to how you ended up there, how you got there?
Now, the last thing I knew that I had a bag full of medication from Holland. It was trazodone. And later on, the psychiatrists all told me that it was the wrong medication. I was on the wrong medication. But I only know that I was in a plane to Australia because a friend of mine had said, listen, Frank, don't go to the mental hospital, because I was advised to go on day treatment in the mental hospital in Amsterdam. And he said, Frank, you have to go. You have to find yourself. You go. I've got a house on Bondi Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in Sydney. So go there. I have an apartment there, and you can stay there and find yourself, because this is not going to work. You are losing it. And I thought, yeah, you're right. You're probably right. I go there, and I talked the whole flight. I talked with everybody, and I was crying for 20 hours, from the 24 hours. I met a beautiful Catholic school teacher, Miss Kieran, and she also came in my trial later on. She came to testify in my case. So she did. She was beautiful. She was Catholic school teacher, and she really helped me when I arrived in Sydney.
So after, and I want to make sure that I have this right, after more than 4 years in prison as an innocent man falsely convicted, you finally were released.
Yeah. I still know that day. I see that day. Every moment, every minute of that day, I can still see for me. It was the 9th of August, 2000, the day before the Olympics, because the 10th of August 2000, the Olympics were there in Sydney. So there was a call on the intercom, and they said, Soonius, pack your stuff. And the drill, you had to stand ready with all you have. And I was really happy with all I have, because I had one box with some CDs, a CD player, and some beautiful books, and all my letters, and also a little bit part of Trapped in a Dream, and Living in Shadowland, and Alone, Always Alone, what I wrote in the isolation cell in the mental hospital. I had that all ready, and I was standing, because you have to be ready in 5 minutes. So I was standing in front of the door, and then the zoomer goes, and the bell rings, and the door opens, and normally there's somebody standing there with shackles and handcuffs and everything. But this time there was a beautiful, big, blonde woman who looked at me, and I've seen her before, and she always said goodnight when there was time to go to bed. And she said, come here, you big, gentle giant of me. And she gave me a big hug. And when she gave me the big hug, she said into my ear, it's time to go home, Frank, and you deserve it so much. So please start living your best life, and you deserve it. And I will miss you. It's time to go. And I can still feel the shiverings now all over my body. And because I said to her, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she said, sign this paper, and in 2 hours you're on the plane to London, and from London to Amsterdam, and we're going to notify to your family you are going home.
Do you know now how that came to be?
Yeah, I know everything, and I still have a court case now in Switzerland, because the High Court, because I still fight that they put me in jail, and I know what happened. It's sad. It happens almost every day here in Holland with the customs and the customs in Australia. And they had prepared my Samsonite suitcase, and they filled it up with 6 kilos of ecstasy, and they did another 5 suitcases. So there were totally of 6 suitcases. And I was the scapegoat, what they call the scapegoat, because when my suitcase came out, it was completely broken. And the moment I brought my broken suitcase together with the school teacher to the customs, because of the commotion that went on, everybody was sent through the customs, and they brought me to a room, and there they told me that I would go for life in prison if I didn't do what they asked me to do. So I said, can I see what I've done? And they said, no, they are there. Believe me, they are there, and we know that you are used, but listen now to us, and you have to listen to us, and we are your only friend here now. You can save yourself and you can help us, or you don't do anything and you go for life in prison. I did everything I could, and it's all in my book, and it's a crazy story. It's Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, and 4 in one book, because what happened after I was arrested and what they did with me and the whole trial, I describe it in a few chapters. And I took it all from the trial transcript. If you read it, you still don't believe it. And it's all here. It's exactly from my trial transcript. So everybody can come and see me. And there were some people who said to me, "Oh, Frank, what's going on?" I said, "If you have an hour, come and read it." And some people did. And after 10 minutes, they say, "Whoa." But I was not in the right mind. I was really sick already before I came to Australia, and I was an easy target. But a lot of people are easy targets. Believe me, a lot.
That is amazing. So now, when can we read your book?
I'll be really honest with you. Every time they hold the book back, because it's like the story. I don't know if you ever saw A Few Good Men, when Tom Cruise is interviewing Jack Nicholson in the witness chair. And "I want to know the truth," Tom screamed to him. And then Jack Nicholson said, "Can you handle the truth?" And so many people I know now don't want this to come out, because I know I'm right, because I'm going to publish it. I'm really right. And also what the Dutch embassy did and everything, they did nothing. And they are ashamed what is coming. And so many lawyers had to see what's going to be in the book. But that's not to me anymore. So it is improved now, and everything is now right. Some things had to be changed. But it's my truth now. I'm not going to listen to nobody anymore, or what I have to say or what I can't say. This is the truth, and the truth is always the truth, even if nobody believes it. And a lie will always lie, even if everybody believes it. And that's my truth. And I've got everything to back me up. Otherwise, I cannot publish it, because everything is now on paper. And so I'm really happy. I'm relieved now. It's in the last stage of the layout, and my editor was bad, but the last few days it's coming together. And yeah, I send it now this is it. There is nothing more. So it must be printed. And my foreword is going to be a surprise, because they have sent my book to a few important persons and who wants to write my foreword. And some people who want to help me, as Bobby Schuller from Hour of Power. And I asked Nick Vujicic, the man with no arms and legs, to be my charity in my book. So I want to give a percentage of my book to charity, and the Life Without Limbs charity of Nick Vujicic. And so I hope, my publisher don't want to say who's going to do my foreword, but I hope he will do it. And I will be so excited. So yeah, I hope from now in 6 weeks.
Are you ready to lose inches, increase strength, and tone your body from head to toe? Are you ready for a total body, mind, and spirit transformation? I am excited to announce that I am launching my exclusive 8-week Pilates Return to Life training program. This will give you an opportunity to have a total body, mind, and spirit transformation of health and wellness to a new lifestyle. Imagine in 7 days you will feel a difference, in 14 days you will see a difference, and in 8 weeks you will have your new Pilates body. So what do you say? Want to join me on the mat? Head over to jenniferpilates.com today. Space is limited. Use this special promo code EW and the word special, EW special, to receive $200 off while space is available. Head on over to jenniferpilates.com and I'll see you on the mat. That would be so exciting. I, for one, I cannot wait to really dive in. I know we've talked a little bit about it. You have such a fascinating story, and above and beyond this story, I came across something else that I wanted to ask you about, and it may or may not be linked. I'm not really sure. We didn't talk about it previously, but you wrote how you became famous for solving the murder of Samantha Knight. And I'm wondering, how did that come to be? Every time I would look up something more about you, Frank, I would turn a page and go, oh my goodness, you are such a fascinating man with such an amazing story to tell.
It's shivering still. The moment I hear the name Samantha Knight, of course I didn't know who Samantha Knight was. And I can tell us really quickly. My money was up, and I had used 88,000 euros for my court case, and my high appeal was coming. But the solicitor said, I want more money. And I said, I have no money anymore. So he stopped a day before my appeal came. And in my appeal, they dismissed everything because I talked for 2 hours and there were 7 judges sitting and they were really, they almost fell asleep because they already had their verdict ready. And so I was really sad, and straight away put in an isolation cell. And then one day there was a sign on the door that there was a Bible study. And somebody came and said, listen, Frank, do you want to come out and see the pastor and go to the chapel? I said, please, because, let's talk to somebody. And I talked with those guys and they were beautiful Christians. And I'm a Christian too. So I had some amazing Bible studies. And during the Bible study, I came back all the time from Bible study, and there was an inmate who was also in protection, and his name was Michael Guyder. And I didn't know where Michael was in for, but soon I heard that he was charged with 60 different children sexual abuse, and he was sentenced for 16 years. So I hated Michael Guyder, and even I tried to kill myself again because I was thinking, if there are guys next to me who use 60 children, I was still really bad. But what happened? Michael saw that I was getting better. And one day, the guys from Bible study said, listen, give Michael a chance. You're a Christian. You have to forgive him. I said, no, never, ever will I forgive somebody who did something with children, sexual abuse them. And no, I said, no, I'm not going to do it. But give him a chance to talk. And he's growing and getting better. And I started to get fights. There was spirit in me again. And one day, we went to Bible study, and he said, can I come with you? And we did something about the Thessalonians, the second letter of the Thessalonians. And that says, if you come clear with everything you have done, then God is waiting for you with open arms. And Michael was in shock. And Michael was all the time coming to my cell. I said, well, Frank, when you go out, you did nothing. You reported your broken suitcase to the customs, and they gave you 11 years prison. How stupid is this world? But I did something terrible. And I will burn in hell. I said, no. I said, if you do your 16 years, you have a new chance. No. He said, Michael said, you don't believe me. I said, is there more? And then Michael said, yes, there is more. And he told the story, and you can see it on YouTube in 60 Minutes. I was in 60 Minutes interviewed by Ross Coulthard and agreed to do that interview, but it was stupid because I was thinking they're going to bring the truth. But they used me only to bring this story and make it sensational. And all the things I was doing, my book, my innocence being in jail, nothing of all was in the TV show. So I tried to sue them also because, they did a terrible job. They came here for 3 days to film me, and they filmed me for 6 hours. But there you can see that I told the truth, what Michael told me. I told this to a psychiatrist. The police spoke with me, and I solved the case. I didn't even know who Samantha Knight was. But they went to his shed, his working shed, and they found pictures of Samantha drugged by Michael Guyder and killed by Michael Guyder. So they took him out of the jail, and they charged him with the murder of Samantha Knight, and he pleaded guilty. And then I was a hero. I was a hero, but I didn't even know who Samantha Knight was. And if you see the show, it's shocking because they put me there as a drug courier. That still hurts. I made a mistake because the media is always only for themselves and not to help you. And that's really hard. Yeah.
It is. You had to go through that. Here you are trying to do something good, and you're pulling yourself out of a very dark place. And what, through everything that you've been through, being in prison, and you're still now fighting for your name, what takeaways do you have? Because I know you as such an amazing, motivational, inspirational person. And I think that it's important for our audience to be able to connect to realize that we all have things that we go through, some more troubling and some more challenging than others. And like your story, this is such an impressive moment in your life where you could have chosen not to come out as inspirational and motivational as you are and turn your life around and pivot into becoming a coach for other people. What are the major takeaways that you're finding that really brought you forward?
When I landed, this is really funny. I shared this story a few times in beautiful rooms on Clubhouse. When I came back from hell, I was really in shock. But a year later, I was walking somewhere in a shopping mall and I heard my name. Frank, is that you? I said, who are you? I was one of your biggest fans in basketball. You were my hero. You were my legend. Please, can I have a picture with you? And she made a picture with me, and I didn't even know her, but she loved me playing basketball. And she said, Frank, what are you doing now? I said, nothing at the moment. I had a hard time. I'm on medication, and I'm still coming out of a major depressive illness. And no, Frank, no, I know who you are. Please, our club is looking for a tennis trainer. I said, no, that's nothing for me. I know you did that before. Come on, have a go, have a try. Come Wednesday and look at the children. They're going to love you. And I don't know what happened, but I said yes. And that Wednesday, I went to see the club, and I was ready. And I didn't do it for 10 years. If you're once a trainer, you're always a trainer. And there were 8 little children, 6 till 8 years old, and they're all ready. Little new racket and new shoes and new clothes and new trainer. And I did a training for 2 hours. And after that, everybody was excited. The parents came to me and they said, Frank, you are amazing. We're so happy that the club has a new trainer. But I didn't. It was only to try. And it's funny. The next Wednesday, I was really excited to go again. There were 40 children waiting at the gates. And 2 months later, I had 140 children, and I was fully booked for 32 hours a week to give training. And that's what happened. I think it's always to set a goal, to set a new, always have something to look further than the present situation. That girl who saw me, and I didn't even know who she was. But she looked at me for 10 years, playing basketball, and I didn't even know that fan. But she put me there. And then the next Wednesday, I was so excited. And the next Wednesday, and then I had a new goal. And when you have a new goal, it is your purpose, because I'm born to do this. It's really funny. I can coach and train really good because I'm high sensitive. I can feel straight away where the blockades are. I can make you better in yourself. And if you have talent, you will be a better tennis player too. But first of all, grow in yourself and be a better version of yourself. And, what I didn't do with myself, because I neglected myself and I gave too much away what I better should have given to myself. And that's why I became really sick. But my book is Trapped in a Dream, Never Lose Your Drive. It's always a drive that there is still something and somebody waiting for you who needs you, who needs your gift, who needs your talent. And I think that's my giveaway, because always think that the best is still to come.
I love that, Frank. That is one of the reasons why you and I just connected so well. We always believe that the best is always yet to come. Is there one thing that you practice daily, weekly, to keep yourself in that positive mindset, to keep yourself in check for those moments? Because we're all human and we all have off days. And the key is give yourself a moment to have a down moment. But we always have to have an arsenal, a toolbox to pull ourselves back up again. What is it that you use to keep yourself in that positive, motivated mindset to keep going?
I've got one word for that: pretending. Pretend that it is bad, but pretend that it is okay. That sometimes it's only 5 or 10 minutes you feel shit, but so many people then hang into it for the whole day and say, I had a bad day. No, sometimes you only have 5 bad minutes. You stay in it for the whole day or the whole week, and some people for the rest of their lives, and blaming everybody. But always pretend that the sun is just what happened with us. We had an appointment 6 o'clock, but the weather was there, and it was only half an hour, but it should have been 24 hours. It was possible. Pretend, see that the outcome will always be good again. Because most of the time, I'm going to tell you this, because I've been there. In the darkest moments, there was always something that happened. Always. So wait another day. If you think you had your worst day, wait another day. Because around the corner, there's just now, your weather is better again. And maybe it went on for a week or maybe a month. Some countries have for 6 or 8 weeks rain, but they know that the rain will go away and the floods will go away one day. So pretend that you see the outcome. Keep seeing the outcome, and imagination is my key word, I think.
That's great. I love that. It's so true. And it goes back to something I always say. You'll probably giggle at this one. I always say, fake it till you make it. So just like you, it's imagining, it's seeing it, it's feeling it, it's going for it, and it's believing it, and just keep going because you're doing it for yourself. And then you are the ripple effect to those around you.
And people are waiting for you. How do you know? Maybe you tell me something. You say already so many beautiful things that I already start implanting in my head, in my stories, because you need me, I need you. We all need each other to go to the next chapters, to push your buttons and say, hey, now I understand that. That makes sense now. And you never know who's going to tell you your best new things, the pushes. And I love it. You said so many beautiful things. I'm going to use it.
Please do, Frank. Please do. So let me ask you, Frank, because you have an amazing story. And here for our audience, it's all about sharing these stories of what was and what challenges we've had to living an empowered life today, which you very much have and are doing. And so I ask you this. What is the biggest aha moment that you feel that you've had in your life?
That was 100%, and you can see it in my bio. That was Nick Vujicic, the man with no arms and legs. I was on a Sunday morning. I had compensation money from Australia, and I bought a small bungalow in the nature. And I was laying on the couch on a Sunday morning, and I was a little bit zipping on the television. And then I see a guy with no arms and legs on a table. And he starts with this sentence. If you have a story, it's your moral obligation to tell this story because people are waiting for your story, just like my story. And sometimes you have bad luck because your story must be so good because I have no arms and legs. And people come to see me because I have the story with a guy with no arms and legs. But Frank, and to all the other guys he was speaking, or girls, you have a handicap. You have arms and legs, Franks. So probably your story is much better than my story, but I'm lucky I have no arms and legs, and everybody wants to come to see the guy with no arms and legs. And you have the handicap. And it's so funny when somebody has no arms and legs and tells me that I have a handicap, but also a moral obligation to share this story because people are sometimes so deep and so depressed that they need probably my story or your story or whose story. It doesn't matter whose story. If it make contact with you and connects with you, we're all different. And sometimes you need you love my voice and Les Brown's voice. I love Les Brown's voice. And you never know who you're going to connect with, but who you're going to help, because that's all life is all about. What can you do to make somebody else happy, and then you're happy too? Because Nick said to me one thing, and I will never forget. Do you know how you sleep at night when you know that 16,000 children in Africa, because I make a lot of money with my public speaking, now have a full tummy, have water, have medical care, have schools, and sleep well because what you've done for them. How you sleep if you only have one person somewhere in the world is now in a much better state than they were before because what you'd have done. And that's my goal. My goal is now maybe one, but I hope more. And I want to help as much I can do because that's also good for your sleep. So it's a win-win situation.
It absolutely is. And there are so many lives that you're touching through our audience. And I know there's millions of lives that you're going to touch through your book and sharing your stories and your motivation and your inspiration. And I know that also the audience will have the opportunity once your book is out to actually have coaching with you, and what an amazing experience that would be as well.
Yeah, I've got a program now. It's in the last stage. It's the recording that's a little bit, maybe I have to talk with you about the recording because I've got some problems with recording, but all the slides and all the program is ready to go. I have to find a way, and I don't know if Pete from Clubhouse, the man with the duck on his head, in the stages to connect with him in London, and then let's go. He wants to do something together with me to become from an entrepreneur to an ultrapreneur, and it's really funny now because it's complete new for me. Everything is new, and some people call me a superhero, and sometimes in shock. What's happening? Because I have to allow that to myself. I never saw that, but I saw myself for a long time as a mental patient, but I'm now a dream driver, and I want to drive you to the best dreams of your life and everybody, and put a heart in it, and live your gift and live your talent and be the best you. And I love doing this, and even if there's money in it, I love it because I can give it away in Africa and have my own village maybe. But if there's not money in it, I don't care either, because it's my moral obligation. This is my purpose. This is my passion. And I'm going to do it, and nobody's going to stop me.
Thank you so much, Frank. I can't even thank you enough for sharing your story, your heart, your soul. You have touched so many lives today on our show. I'm so honored that you're willing to come on with us today. Can you tell our listeners, Frank, if they want to connect with you, be it social media or your website, where can people find you?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram, and there you can also see my website, and on Facebook. Trapped in a Dream is my business page, and the book is the business page Trapped in a Dream, and the book, then there you can see exactly what is going on. Everything what you post on Instagram goes to Trapped in a Dream business page, and I've got my own page. And what's also funny the photo the girl made for me, that she posted it on Facebook, on her Facebook, and she put under it, meeting basketball legend Frank Soonius. And that selfie she put on. And the next day I had 800 followers.
That's amazing.
10 when I started. And then in one day I had 800 more, only because she said, meeting basketball legend Frank Soonius.
The power of your name and your picture and the energy coming through it.
It's so, for me, it's all new, because I loved my work as a tennis teacher. I'm now 60, and it's really hard because there are still children. I did 15 years I give lessons, and they still send me messages on Facebook and on Messenger. I wish we had still training of you, Frank. And that's really funny because that was always my thing, training and coaching and pushing. And I love doing it. And now I do it, hopefully, again, that's my goal. So you
will. You're going to dream it and you're going to do it. Frank, one more time, can you tell me your website address? trappedinadreambook.com. Wonderful. Thank you again, Frank, for being on our show. Thank you to our listeners so much for joining us here today. And as we always say, until next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Empowered Within with Jennifer Pilates. Your feedback is important. It helps me to connect with you and gives me insight into who you are and what you're enjoying about the show. For today's show notes and discount codes from today's sponsors, head over to jenniferpilates.com. Until next time, may you live an empowered life from within.